Hello guys, how are we all doing? Welcome back to Championship Predictions. There's really not long of the season left and it's the start of the Easter weekend. There's two games coming at us on Friday and Monday. I cannot wait for all the action. Before we get into it, do make sure to hit that like button. We'll go for 340 likes on this video. Do make sure to subscribe as well. It's free to do, so do like and subscribe and share your predictions down below. I'm joined by Sophie.
As always, how are you?
Yeah, Coventry
yeah.
were not good. You didn't go to that game, so
I'm glad I missed that one.
You didn't have to watch that rubbish, but let's hope Coventry can recover. But let's get straight into the Championship games. Everyone's involved. Let's start with the lunchtime games. We've got Millwall versus Luton Town, an interesting matchup, 5th at home to 4th, and they could be playing each other in the playoffs in just a few weeks' time. Luton Town look very solid. They look definitely capable of finishing in that top 6, and I think you cannot rule them out of a slim chance of maybe making the automatics this season, because they are pretty much level with Middlesbrough. Yeah. And if you're going to give Middlesbrough a chance, you've got to say Luton have got a chance. They just beat Watford, which was a great result. Millwall come into this with a draw against West Brom, which was okay. They've not been at their best in the last 2 games or so. They haven't scored against Huddersfield or West Brom, but they're just about doing enough, and I wonder if they could just get a point here and a couple wins in the more favourable fixtures. They might just get over the line. It's a tricky game for both. Going away to Millwall isn't easy for Luton, but Millwall playing Luton, it's not easy. They did draw 2-2 at Kenilworth Road. I'm going to say another draw. This time it's 1-1. Yeah,
I'm really tempted to back a 0-0. However, I just feel like the form Luton are in at the moment, they could edge it, and I do think it's going to be a tight game, and I think it could go 1-0 either way, to be honest. But I'm going to back the Hatters. I think they're flying. I think they're going to back it up with another 3 points. So for me, they win this 1-0.
1-0?
Yeah.
Oh, wow, okay. It's a massive game. Millwall could really do with something. They're a little bit below Luton. On to the next game. We've got another team trying to make the playoffs this year, West Bromwich Albion, who go away to Rotherham. Rotherham got a point at Hull City. They're edging their way towards survival, but Rotherham have got some very difficult games coming here. And I do like West Brom with their manager Corberan and the quality that they've got, and I like their run of fixtures here. I feel like West Brom might actually sneak into the top 6. They've got a game in hand as well. I'm going to back them to win this game. Rotherham 0, West Brom 2.
Yeah, I actually think it's going to be a little bit of a tighter game. I think Rotherham are going to set up maybe hoping for the draw here, because they need a point, to be honest. And I think it's going to make it quite challenging for the Baggies to kind of break them down. However, I do think they've got that quality to kind of get the breakthrough. But for me, it's just going to be 1-0 to the Baggies.
1-0, okay. Fair enough. We'll move on to another massive game in the playoff race. It's 6th versus 7th. It's Blackburn Rovers at home to Norwich City. Oh, I don't know with this one. So they both lost in the previous set of games. Blackburn lost away at Birmingham, which isn't a great result. Yeah. Norwich lost at home to Sheffield United, which was always going to be a difficult game, but Norwich are just not quite at their best, and you feel like they've got to win this one. I don't know if a draw is great for Norwich. I think Blackburn might actually pinch the 3 points, though. I think Blackburn would be happier if this game finishes a draw, but I think Blackburn might actually steal it. Being at home, I'm going to give them a 1-0 win.
Yeah, I can see why you're backing the home side here. I just feel like both teams are going to want to bounce back from that defeat at the weekend and get something from this game, and I think both teams will. I think it's going to be a share of the spoils, but an entertaining one. 2-2. 2-2,
yeah, decent game. Okay, on we move to Bloomfield Road. It's Blackpool versus Cardiff City. Both sides still in the mess down here. 23rd at home to 21st. Cardiff City are a strange one. I do still feel like they're going to be all right to stay up, but their results recently haven't been great. Blackpool, meanwhile, their results really aren't good. They've conceded 3 against Preston, 4 against Coventry, and they're just not very good at the back. I think they've got the worst defensive record. Both sides will have been given a little bit of a boost to see Reading have been deducted 6 points, so they've got another team down there that they can try and finish ahead of. I think Cardiff can't afford to lose this. Blackpool certainly can't afford to lose this, so I'm going to sit on the fence and say 1-1.
No, I think the Reading point deduction is going to be a boost for Cardiff. I don't think it's going to affect Blackpool. I think the form they've been in, I think it's going to continue, and I do see them going down, actually. And saying that, I'm going to back them to lose again. I think Cardiff, they've not been in the best of form either, so it's kind of 2 out of form teams going at it. So it could go either way, I guess, but I am going to back Cardiff to win this 2-0.
You're going Cardiff 2-0. Okay, on we go down to another team involved in the relegation battle. Queen's Park Rangers, who host Preston North End. Preston, all of a sudden, maybe, just maybe, they could make the playoffs. They're only 5 points off, a point behind Coventry and Norwich. We'll see. I think they've got a decent set of fixtures here as well, and I do expect them to win this. QPR just continue to not impress. They're just losing every game they can. I thought it was really poor how they lost at Wigan and how they gave away the penalty for that one. I think Preston are solid. They're going to come away and win 1-0.
Yeah, I think the thing that's kind of saved QPR's season is the fact that they started quite well, because otherwise their form for like majority of the season is relegation form.
They might still go down though.
I don't think they will. I think they'll stay up. Preston, you've got to give them credit. I said, I think early on in the season, they're not an entertaining team to watch, and at times they're not, but they are getting the points on the board, and actually, do you know what? They are playing well at times, and I think they're going to get another 3 points here. So for me, it's going to be a comfortable one. 3-0.
Whoa,
yeah.
3-0 Preston. I mean, they did score some really good goals against Blackpool the other day.
Great goals, yeah.
On we move to Reading, who host Birmingham City. Reading are right in the mix now. I was saying a week or two ago about if they get a points deduction, they're going to be right in it. If they don't, they might just have enough to get over the line. They've now been hit with it. They're 1 point above the bottom three. Their form is terrible. They're scraping draws where they can, but they don't seem to be winning many. And they're up against Birmingham City, who've been pretty good. 3 wins in the last 4, and a great win against Blackburn Rovers.
Yeah.
Birmingham City are going to stay up, and I think they'll win this game. Reading, I'm not too sure if they're going to stay up. I'm going to say Birmingham City 1-0.
I think most people's favourites in this game is going to be Blues, actually. However, I'm going to back the home side here. I don't know whether, if the points deduction has now been applied, whether that's not kind of like looming over them anymore, and they can just kind of see where they are, and that's where it should stay, and just kind of get the points on the board. And I think it's not going to be pretty, but I see them getting a 1-0 win over Blues.
1-0 win?
Yeah. Bit of a shocker.
Maybe they'll just be like re-galvanised and they'll come together.
You just don't know.
You never know. Massive game next at Bramall Lane. Sheffield United versus Wigan. It's 2nd versus 24th. Sheffield United are back on track. We had a bit of a question mark over them a few weeks ago when Middlesbrough were doing brilliant, but the form's switched. Sheffield United are now in pretty good form. Middlesbrough have wobbled a little bit. And you'd imagine they should win this. Although I will give Wigan a bit of credit, because despite the 3 points deduction, they did win against QPR at the weekend just gone. And they've been in games. They got a point against Coventry. They got a point against Norwich. They got a point against Watford. I don't think they'll get a point here. I'm going to go Sheffield United to win 2-0.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I backed Wigan to win against QPR. I just felt like they would actually get the 3 points there. So it's not going to be a terrible result backing it up with a loss, which I do think is incoming against the Blades. As you've said, we did question whether their form's kind of dropping off a little bit, and that at the moment they're proving us wrong, and I think they're going to back it up with another win against Wigan. So for me, it's going to be 3-1.
3-1. Okay, on we move now to Stoke City against Bristol City. 2 sides that probably won't be moving division. They'll probably both be in the Championship next year, but got to say, Stoke City look like one of the best teams in the league at the moment, if not the best. They are absolutely fantastic, and you don't know where it's come from because they're middle of the table. They've got barely anything to play for. They'd probably have to win every game now to make the playoffs. But who knows? Maybe I'll give them a win here and we'll see where they are in a few weeks' time. Bristol City, they're okay, but I don't think they're going to stop this rampant Stoke team who destroyed Coventry, and Smallbone was brilliant. All the goals were well crafted. Stoke 3-1.
Yeah, Stoke are absolutely flying. I think their fans have got to be absolutely buzzing at the moment because they are playing some good football. It's not like they're just winning games. They are rolling teams. They've rolled us.
And they rolled Sunderland 5-1 as well.
Yeah, they are scoring goals and making it look easy as well. So, got to give them credit for that. I think they're going to do it again, to be honest, this weekend. Bristol City, at times, they look okay. However, it's more about the team that Stoke's just going to put out, and I see them winning this one comfortably again. So I'm going to say 3-0.
3-0, yeah. Okay, yeah, comfortable. Okay, Sophie, it's that time. It's Swansea City versus Coventry City. I don't know, Sophie.
know.
Our form was so good before the international break, and it always happens. It's happened a few times in a row now. Coventry City need to suddenly find the form again, because there's only 7 games. We can't take 2 or 3 games to try and get going. We need to win this. But Swansea City, although they've not had an amazing season, have recovered in the recent weeks. They've beaten Bristol City. They beat Cardiff away 3-2 in the 99th minute. It's not a great time to play Swansea, and we don't tend to do too well against them. Like I say, Coventry need a win, but I feel like we might take another game or 2 to maybe go back to winning ways, because for some reason it's a problem for Coventry City to get ourselves going after an international break. I'm going to sit on the fence, 1-1.
Yeah, I almost would put money on us to concede in this game, to be honest. I think we didn't look very good against Stoke. I gave Stoke all the credit, but I think as well you've got to admit that was not a good performance from us, what I've seen anyway. Swansea, I think great character to kind of get that last minute winner in the South Wales derby. That was a great result for them. So I think they're still going to be buzzing off of that. They'll probably be quite confident going into this game. I don't think we're going to be very confident. I would take a point. So I'm going to say 2-2. 2-2. Yeah, Slovene goals.
It needs to be a win, but we're going for a draw.
Steady the ship though.
Okay, on to Vicarage Road. It's Watford versus Huddersfield Town. Huddersfield are all of a sudden back within a chance. 2 brilliant wins against Millwall away and Middlesbrough at home. And Neil Warnock doing a great job.
Got to give him credit.
Yeah, they're scoring goals. They've been a bit better defensively, and away to Watford, who obviously possess lots of quality but aren't having an amazing season. They did just lose to Luton. I don't think Chris Wilder's going to get them to the playoffs this year. I think Huddersfield might get something, but Watford have got a lot of quality, so I'll say they'll get a draw, 1-1.
No, do you know what? I'm going to back the Terriers to get another win. I think Neil Warnock is doing a great job at the moment. He came in, they were looking very, very poor, and the dinosaur's turning it around for him. So, I mean, that was a bit harsh.
He's not a dinosaur, he's a genius.
He is a genius dinosaur. But I see him getting 3 points here. I don't see Watford making it an easy game, and on paper they are, by far, in my opinion, a better team. But it's not clicking. So for me, the Terriers get the 3 points, 2-1.
2-1. Okay, 2 games left. Up we go to the North East as Sunderland take on Hull City. Hull have hit a bit of a sticky patch at the moment. They were doing quite well under Rosinia, but they're just floating around 17th, 18th in the table, and there's not a lot to play for. I don't see them going down. It's just a question once again about how motivated can they be in the final stretch of the season. They take on Sunderland, who got a good 0-0 against Burnley on the Friday night, and they're not completely out of the playoff picture, but they need to win this. So I feel like they might get their crowd on side, and Tony Mowbray might just push them back towards the playoffs. 1-0 Sunderland. Okay,
so you think it's going to be low scoring. I think it's going to be a tight game as well, but I see a draw playing out, so for me it's going to end 1-1. 1-1 doesn't really help Sunderland. Well, it doesn't really help either team, to be honest. Well, don't really know what Hull City are playing for anymore. Okay, the final game is a big one. It is Middlesbrough versus Burnley. It's a massive game for both teams, because Burnley with a win could be promoted this Friday if Luton fail to beat Millwall as well. But Middlesbrough with a win might just keep their chances alive, but you feel like they've got to win this. This is the 2 best teams in the recent weeks, but Middlesbrough losing to Huddersfield makes me question them. Oh, go on, I'll give it to Middlesbrough to make the automatic question a bit interesting. 1-0 Borough. Oh, are you saying that purely because Burnley drew against Sunderland in their last result? Both teams didn't get a great result last time, put it that way. Okay. I feel like I'm still going to have to back Burnley to win, to be honest. I think on their day they're very, very good. I mean, we've all seen that they pretty much walked the league. And wow. Middlesbrough, they have looked very, very good. I think they are up there as well. It'd be unfair for them to kind of not get the automatics the way they've been playing. However, I don't see them getting anything from this game. But low scoring from him. I'm going to say Burnley 1-0. Burnley 1-0. And it's a question of when, not if, with Burnley getting promoted. Yeah. There you go, guys. That wraps up this video. Do make sure to get your championship predictions down below. As I say, there's so many games coming at us thick and fast over the Easter weekend. Do make sure to drop a like. Do make sure to subscribe. I'll see you all in the next one. Peace out.